Well, we are back.
We're already back here in SpeckMasters studios.
Yeah, the old SpeckMasters studios.
That's it.
right,
That's
man.
us. We're
That's
back.
right.
We're on. Well,
The old the McLean Trailer Studios.
that's right.
That's right. FCJ Marine Studios.
Yeah, we did. We've got. Well, we got one question here. John Woodcock. He wanted to know. He's just saying, is this a individual tourney, but can fish two people out of a boat? That is correct. And as long as everybody in the boat is in the tournament, if you want to take your wife and kids or whatever, the whole family can fish in it, or you can fish with all your buddies too. And this is wading, drifting, however you want to fish within the boundaries, with rod, reel, and lures only. And it's pretty cut and dried, if you want to wade fish. Now, if you're going to break up and, if you park your boat and one guy goes to the left, one guy goes to the right, if you drop a guy off, say, and you're going to go out and drift in front of him, you can't get more than 500 yards from him. This is kind of a safety deal. We want you to be able to have an eye on that guy before you get too far away from him. And as far as, if you got another tournament angler that is in the tournament, and it's going to, we've got to figure out a way to wade for everybody to know who's in the tournament and who's not. But I mean, if you're going to go in on somebody, it shouldn't matter whether they're in the tournament or not. If they're on fish, you don't pull in on their fish unless you're waved in on them.
Yeah, and how do you know? The question we've had too is, how do you know?
How do you know? Well,
Well, that's something that
it's called using etiquette.
Yeah.
It's like, if one of my buddies was fishing a tournament, and then say I'm fishing against them, and they were on a good school of fish, and I knew I needed to be on that school of fish to do what they're doing, and unless they invite me in on them, I'm just not going to go in on them.
No, that's right.
And that's why we have the 100-yard rule, because in my books, the first one there wins. The first guy on the fish wins. Those are his fish. He was on them first, and unless he waves his hat and waves you in on them and invites you in to fish on them, those are his fish, and you should respect that. And I know I've been in tournaments before where you had guys bumping your bow of your boat.
Oh, that's ridiculous.
With a trolling motor. They'll just troll motor and throw in on you, and just, I saw that a lot in redfish tournaments. But back when we had Trout Masters, we just never did have that problem. We never had much blowback on that.
That's right.
But, if it does pose a problem, that's why we have a, that's why we have a protest.
That's right.
You can file.
What is the fee for the protest? I don't. You know what?
Same price as a polygraph. It's going to be $300.
$300.
That's it. And if you've got a legit protest and you file it with your $300, then we'll question the angler in question and do polygraph and everything else, and it better be legit.
That's right.
If you're going to file it, it better be blatant enough that it's going to coincide with the rules and everything else, and we'll know how to treat the situation. But hopefully we'll never have to come to that. I never had much of that. It's just most of these fishermen are, they're accomplished and they know what they're doing, and they're not gonna pull any shenanigans like that.
Yeah.
Hopefully that won't happen.
Well, that's hopeful. Yeah.
And
well, I'm not seeing anybody.
no, there's not a whole lot of questions.
We got some people online. We got some people watching.
Yeah, we got a lot of people watching and a lot of views, but it's I'm trying to figure out what else I need to touch on. Really, it's just you got to have all your proper safety gear. Make sure you have life preservers and all that. Your PFDs, and wear your kill switches, and pretty much all of it's cut and dried tournament fishing.
And it is definitely an artificial only.
Artificial only.
Yes.
No chumming, no using dead bait, tipping hooks or anything like that. You're allowed to use gulp.
Gulp, yeah.
And scented baits and things like that, but but no natural bait whatsoever. Our motto is to fool them, not feed them.
Fool them,
don't feed them. That's right. But
that's good stuff.
But You know, I know a lot of you here, you know, if anybody's just tuning in, you can find all the info you need to know about tournament dates, all the rules and categories. Anybody's interested in sponsoring a SpeckMasters tournament, you can contact me or Wade, and you can go to our website, SpeckMasters.com. That's SpeckMasters.com, and get
or
all
you
your
can
info.
email us at info@SpeckMasters.com.
Yeah, that's email.
Yeah.
info@SpeckMasters.com.
And, you know, as you can see in the background, I mean, we've got a lot of sponsors that are coming out. We've got a lot of product that's been, you know, sponsored for us. Egret Baits, Voodoo, you know, Voodoo Shrimp, Voodoo Mullets. Those guys really stepped up to help us out. McLean, you know, they helped us out with a nice trailer.
Yeah, for the boat package, and then FCJ Marine and Honda Marine.
Yep, FCJ, and we've
Got a nice boat. You ought to see how good that boat looks with the wrap on it. It's
really,
got, yeah,
it's awesome.
Speckled trout scale wrap on it and stuff. It looks really sharp.
Yeah. That is really good.
And if you want to check that boat out, it's going to be in a booth at the George R. Brown at the 40th annual Houston Fishing Show. 40th annual. That's coming up. That starts next Wednesday.
Yeah.
Show opens at 1
That's
o'clock.
right. We'll have the boat up there.
Yeah, we'll have the boat up there.
It'll be at the FCJ Boats
That's right.
booth over there. They're going to have 3 of their models up there, and these guys are really knocking them out, man. They've got some spectacular boats they're coming out with, and we've gotten lucky to be one of the first to get one on the water. So, yeah, man, it's going to be great. It's going to be nice.
Is there a question
Yeah,
there
we've got a
again
question
by
right
John
there.
Woodcock
Yeah.
again? What does he
want to
say?
know if you're a walk-in waiter,
Yeah.
does the same time start before entering water, 30 minutes before sunrise?
Well, his launch site will be just like a boat. You can't walk out and stand on your spot till legal fishing time. You may enter the water and walk to where your fish are at the blast off time.
Yeah.
You know, like if blast off is at 6:30, then you can walk off in the water and take off. You know, and that's what's good about this. A lot of guys, that, you know, if they want to wade in at the beachfront, or they want to, you know, go to walk-in places like the Refuge or San Luis Pass or somewhere like that, we don't have any problem with it. We just want everybody to participate. And you know, kayakers, you know, that this is a big deal for them.
Yeah.
You know, that I know a lot of them would like to get a head start because they don't have a motor on their boat, but that's just the way the tournament rules are. It's got to be the same for everybody.
Exactly.
You've got some backwater.
Well, yeah, they've got advantages. Some of that backwater,
yeah, a lot of that,
boats can't
you know,
get to,
regular
so.
boats can't get to. And
That's right.
you just slide your kayak off in the water, but you can't leave your preferred launch site till 6:30. Say that's the
right.
blast off time, 6:30 a.m. You can't leave till then.
That's right.
And then you can leave and immediately start fishing soon thereafter.
That's it. That's right.
But it enables you know, small shallow water boats and all that from having to cross extremely rough waters and tearing all their equipment up. And that was my biggest complaint about fishing a lot of tournaments. That, man, the weather was just so bad in rough waters like Galveston Bay and Kerrs, and you just, when you get in, you gotta, all your stuff's tore up. You know,
Yeah, exactly,
I've seen trolling motors completely gone, and power poles broke off, and I've even seen transoms cracked, and I remember one boat almost broke all the way in half in one tournament I was in.
Lord.
And just we just want everybody to be safe and go out there to have a good time. This is what it's all about. Have a good time first. Hey, if you get on the right school and you win, that's icing on the cake.
That's right. That's it.
It's
yeah, we're looking forward to this event. I think it's going to be great. I mean, you know, the payouts are nice. Of course, this is, like we said earlier, this is the start of this deal. Something Mickey, you know, thought about bringing back, and I kind of gave him a little push, and hopefully
it just
I didn't
happened.
push him too hard. And,
you know,
and
that's
this
like,
thing's gonna work out right.
That's
man.
how Trout Masters got started. We Don Farmer, it was my partners in that. He used to book me all the time, and he took one of his clients fishing, and we went out and we caught all these big trout, and we were wade fishing in the back of East Bay, and we had some really nice fish. And we get into the dock where we end up going to a little restaurant and bar right down from the marina, and sat down and got to talking and dreaming and talking, and we were writing everything down on a cocktail napkin, and that's how it all got started. And that's what's good about, you know, if you got good ideas, hey, don't be afraid to
right, man.
go for it.
You got to jump out and do
That's
it.
it. All it takes is money, huh, Wade?
Yeah, that's it, man.
All
Little change, right?
Little change.
That's it. We make it happen.
But we're going to try to make this as convenient as we can for all the fishermen. And in some of the areas, you know, wherever we're having a tournament, you know, when parking becomes a problem, we're going to try to have some golf carts or, you know, some you know, bad boy buggies or something to shuttle you back. You know, if you've got a big sack of fish and you don't have to carry them a quarter mile to the weigh scales, then we'll have somebody there to pick you up and give you a ride.
Yeah, if anybody's got any of those golf carts or those buggies,
well, we've got one bad boy buggy right now that I can bring, and we can use that, and we'll get. I'm sure we'll have a nice volunteer that'll volunteer to drive it and shuttle people around.
That's right.
We just want to make it good, and using first-rate equipment, you know that when your fish are weighed, you got the same chance. You don't have another scale over there that doesn't match this scale. And we're going to start out with 3 scales. I know back in SpeckMasters when we got really busy, when we had 400 entries a tournament, we'd have 5 sets of scales running. Yeah. So we could make the line reduce because it just takes so long when you're weighing and measuring fish and trying to do it properly. And we encourage that with the weigh staff is just to be smooth and steady and slow and make no mistakes. Yeah. And that it always comes out of, you know, you want your fish weighed right, and that's what we're here to do. And
well, and these scales, like I say, these are scales that are designed for fishing tournaments. These scales are designed for live weigh-in. They've got a triple harmonic balancing system that allows for motion, fish flopping. It's going to help us move the line along a little quicker. Oh, yeah. And I think we're going to see pretty good success with this thing on the, you know, the weigh-in. So, but we're like I say, we're looking for vendors to come out and set up. We're promoting anybody to come out. We're, you know, spectators to come out and see the event and hang out with us and have a good time. So, anybody else got any questions? We're we're looking at you here.
I'm not getting any new ones coming up yet, but well, you know, we can do this another time too. We'll stay in touch, and we'll always announce it on Facebook, and we're set up to do it now. This is pretty cool modern technology nowadays.
Yeah, it is.
It really is. It's pretty impressive.
So, well.
But we're looking forward to a good year, 2015. It looks like we made it through another season without any freezes or fish kills or anything.
That's right.
So far, our limits are still staying at 10 trout apiece up here on the Texas coast, and hopefully we can keep it that way. I think we have a very healthy, sustainable fishery, and a lot of the guys that fish now, we release a lot of big fish. A lot of people don't kill all these big fish.
That's right.
And hopefully that's what we can do with SpeckMasters to get these fish back in the water.
Get them back in the water. Yeah, that's what we're going to try to do. Get them back in the
water and save as many as we can. You know, it's inevitable. Trout tournament, you're going to lose some fish, but you know, if you do the math on how many trout are lost per day in the summer months just to predators like sharks and porpoises and everything, it's mind-boggling.
That's right.
So, but whatever we can do to help the fishery, that's what we're going to be here for. And hopefully, you know, we'll have more sponsors come on board with you know, even donating to the scholarship fund.
That's right.
And we want to thank Allied Industrial Sales for donating $10,000 right off the bat for the scholarship fund for the youth division, and that's big. You know, that's huge. And I think the last year, I think Jared Malone won I can't remember whether it was $22,000 scholarship check.
Really, $22,000?
Yeah, for Junior Angler of the Year.
Yeah, that'd be nice if we can get this thing up there, man.
That would be cool.
That'd be great for these kids. So.
And kids don't need to get discouraged. Hey, if you can just weigh one fish in.
That's right. Yeah, that's right.
And another thing, too, we have bonus points. You know, you'll see how the point system is. You can go on our website and check out all our tournament stuff and see how the point system's laid out. But, you know, big trout pot, say if you win a tournament for big sack, you'll get 100 points for that. And then if you have the big fish in there, you'll get an additional 30 points for that. But if you fish all 4 events leading up to the championship, you get bonus points for that. What is that, 50 points for the,
exactly,
if you fish all 4 tournaments, you get an additional 50 bonus points added, but you got to fish all 4. And so, you know, if you're in a running and can't make the last tournament, man, that'd be tough on a man to
just to
not be able to make that
not be able to
last
make
tournament
it.
and
That's
get
right.
those 50 bonus points. I mean, that's real critical. But thing is, just don't give up and get discouraged. Because believe me, the best of us have had bad tournaments. I mean,
and like
bad
I say,
ones.
it's a couple $100. You go out for a weekend. I mean, you can't.
I mean,
you can't give up.
You
that
go to
kind
a ball
of money
game.
for
You go watch a ball
entertainment.
game. $200.
Yeah, you go out to dinner. It's over $100.
You're going fishing anyway, so
that's right.
That's the way I look at it.
Bring a couple buddies. Everybody join up. Hit SpeckMasters.com and make it happen, man.
That's what a lot of guys used to do. You know, one guy would have a boat, but he had 2 or 3 buddies that really liked to fish and were good fishermen. They'd all pull together and split the expenses.
Exactly, yeah.
And
that's
you
right.
get 3 or 4 of them. Go do it.
That's
but it's
right.
the only thing with stacking a boat with that many people. You know, a lot of them are going to be wade fishing, which is fine. But keeping your fish alive, you know, you're just most tournament boats, they'll have 2 live wells in them, and that'll be fine for 3 or 5 fish. But you've got to keep your fish separate. You got to know, and a good way to. We used to use clothespins in them.
Oh yeah.
We'd know to do that. Just put it through the top lip where they can still close their mouth. You want these fish to be able to close their mouth and open it easily, where they can flush water through their gills and absorb oxygen, and they can close their mouth with like just little baby diaper clothespins, something like that. And one guy will have clothespins in his fish, the other guy won't.
That's right.
And then that way you can keep track of your fish and know which fish
small
are yours.
colored tie wraps.
Yeah, just a little bitty tie wrap
or something. Yeah.
Something that you don't want
Keep it loose,
to
of
impede
course,
the fish to where he can't close his mouth or open it or deter him any.
Small loose loop of a tie wrap on there. Or,
you know, they even make them tournament balls. We used to use them on redfish.
the clip-ins.
Yeah, and you can dial the weight of your fish on there and know how much your fish weighs. Exactly. You put him in there that way. When you get ready to cull, you can look. Well, this one's 7.2. That's a 6.14. I'm chunking him.
Exactly.
Yeah, and but just no culling a dead fish. We can't allow that.
That's right.
That's just not right.
That's not good.
Even though they probably wouldn't go to waste on the bottom of Galveston Bay because there's plenty of stuff to eat out there. It's just not a good practice. It is against the rules.
A little chumming.
So, well, Wade, I'm looking forward to a good year with you, man.
I am too, man. I think it's
gonna be a lot of
great,
fun.
Mickey. I'm glad you're ready to do this, and
hey, I'm here,
excited
man.
to be a part of it, man.
I'm here, and we'll look forward to live weigh-ins. We'll have a nice stage, and got some good sponsors already. What more could we ask for?
That's right, man. It's fired up and ready to rock. So.
Well, let's roll, buddy.
Hey, I
appreciate it.
All right, man.
And if anybody's up in the morning, any of you sickos out there want to listen to some more trout talk and things like that, I'll be live in the morning at Sports Radio 610 at 4 a.m.
That's right.
So
call up there with any questions.
Yeah,
if you have
you can call me on the show if you got any questions or anything.
What's that number to the show? To call
it's the phone-in line is 713-572-4610. That's 713-572-4610.
Okay, good. Hell, I can't ever remember it. So.
That's why you never call in.
That's right. That's it.
Oh, well.
Well, guys, I guess there's no more questions. We appreciate you guys coming in and seeing us. And
we hope everybody shows up, and we'll have a good time. Show up in March. We'll have a blast, and it's free. Hey, you get lucky and win $1,000.
That's
we may even have some sponsor prizes out there to give away.
I think we will.
I've
got some stuff coming up, and we'll probably see you guys after the fishing show. Come back on and do a little more Q&A if need be. And I think we've got some announcements we're going to try to announce throughout the season as well for different things that we've got coming up that got to kind of keep it under hat right now.
That's it.
Well,
we better get off here. The law's pulling up.
That's it. We got the law coming in.
They're coming to get us, man.
My goodness. All right, guys. Well, we do appreciate it. Y'all have a good night.
Take care, folks.
Thank you.